What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I am so glad that you are here. My name is Shayla. I am 27 years old. I am married for almost 3 years now, which is crazy. I have a pet dog, and I am also a first-time NPC bikini competitor. I will be competing in my first show in November. So really excited. If this is intriguing to you and you want to follow along this journey, or you've been thinking about doing a show, definitely check out my playlist. I'll have it here as well as a link down below where I have been documenting the whole thing. I'm gonna give you guys all the real tea and struggle, just be as transparent as possible. Today, I thought it would be a great idea to pop in and do a Q&A slash updates video. So my last video that I had sitting with you guys and talking about what I was doing was my very first video announcing that I am going to be competing in a bodybuilding competition. I have changed a lot of things since then, so I wanted to first start out with running through those changes and why I made those changes, etc. So when I first signed up, I actually signed up for a different show. I registered for an NFF show, which is a natural league where they do drug test you and make sure that you're not on any type of steroid or drugs in general, which I was all about. But NPC to me just felt more competitive. I feel like there's a lot more people competing in it, and it just felt more like the big leagues to me. The shows are bigger, there's more lights and stage and action, and that's the kind of stuff I look for. That's the kind of stuff that excites me. So I decided to switch from NFF to an NPC show in November. And what's crazy is it is the same date, so that was super easy. I didn't have to change anything in my plan or anything that I was doing, which is a huge blessing. I am still competing in November, the same date, honestly. It's just an NPC show versus the NFF show that I was gonna previously do. Also, if I were to do NFF, my goal was to go NPC anyways, so why would I waste my time, go through NFF when I just want to be NPC anyway? So I'm excited about that. I also have a few girlfriends that are going to be competing in the same show, so it'll be super fun to see them. A few other changes have been made. If you are behind on a few videos, I am not cutting. I have not been cutting. I don't start cutting until September. So today is August 3rd. I just talked to my coach last week and he's like, yeah, we're thinking more September when we start cutting because I don't have a lot of body fat to lose. I've gained probably like 4 pounds in the past 3 weeks. Which is great. This is what we wanted. We want to build muscle as well as get me just a little bit fluffier, so that way when we do cut, I'm not cutting to where I get almost, I look emaciated. You want to look as full as possible but be as lean as possible. So that's kind of what we're doing. I am really excited to start prep, to actually officially start prep and to get super lean. I love pushing myself physically and mentally, so I'm really excited for that phase. But I'm definitely enjoying my high carbs and high food right now while I can, because I know that when it gets to prep, I'm gonna wish that I was back to right now. Also, we have essentially removed all cardio. Just this week, he added back just a few light walks. I do kind of miss cardio though, because my hunger was a lot higher when I was doing cardio versus now I'm not as hungry. It's been definitely hard to eat all the food that I've been eating just to put on muscle, put on weight. It's definitely not fun to force feed when you're not hungry, but you have to do it if you want the gains. One of the questions that has been frequently asked is what my macro split is. My macros are really high, y'all. I have 275 carb, 147 protein, 80 fat. So my carbs are definitely super high. My carbs are super high, but my macros are definitely very high. I'm definitely always full and satisfied. I'm never wanting to have a cheat meal anymore, which when I first started and my calories were a lot lower because we were slowly building the caloric intake, I definitely was like always wanting to eat, always hungry, would go to bed kind of hungry. But now I'm going to bed full, satisfied, I'm full throughout the day, my head's clear, I'm feeling really good. So that's my macro split right now. Another question I got is, why are you doing this? And I kind of answered this in my first video, but I wanted to reiterate that I am a goal-driven person, And if I don't have a personal goal for myself, my mental health is not that great. If you've been following me for a while, you know that my last fitness goal was to run a half marathon. I was a gymnast my whole life, if you're new here. And so running, I was terrible at. I couldn't run more than 2 miles at once without just absolutely feeling like I was gonna throw up. Wanted to push myself and get better at running. So my goal was to run a half marathon without stopping the whole time, jogging, running, the whole thing. And I ended up doing that and succeeded in that, but then I wanted to do something else. So this is my next fitness goal. I've always been intrigued by shows. I actually started following a lot of bodybuilders and especially bikini competitors back in college, early college. I was just so intrigued by it. And I wish I would have done it earlier. I was just very shy to do it. And honestly, like, I wish I could go back and just shake myself and be like, don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Just do what you want to do. I have a girlfriend who just competed in a show and I went to support her and I was like, this is it. I gotta do it. Like, I gotta do it. This is my sign. Another frequently asked question is, why are you starting this so early? Why did you start back in April if your show isn't until November? When I hired a coach, the purpose of having a coach is he is supposed to be able to tell you what to eat, you know, how many macros that you need, your workout plan, how you're feeling, checking in on you, that kind of thing. If I were to just start with him when it was time for prep or time for cutting, and he doesn't know me, he doesn't know my body, how is he supposed to create a meal plan for me or create a workout split for me that he knows is gonna benefit me? I definitely started early and I'm so glad that I did, because he was able to see what foods work best for my body, what my body is intolerant to, what bloats me, what leans me out, what pumps me up in all the right places. For example, sweet potatoes love me, and I love sweet potatoes. So anytime I eat sweet potatoes, I get a nice arm pump, I get veins popping out. So my body really prefers sweet potatoes over rice. I still look fine with rice, but it's not as good. And those are just little things here and there that he is able to see and get to know me and my body, which is gonna be helpful in the long run and helpful for prep. So he is able to, especially on peak week, know how to pump up certain muscles as it gets closer. I also, as a gymnast, am very upper body dominant. I have shoulders, I have a back, biceps, that kind of thing. I've always kind of been more upper dominant just because of bars, uneven bars, things like that. My lower half, I definitely needed help in the glute ham department. I'm quad dominant. So in order to build glutes, it takes a long time. And I've definitely built a little bit of glute, which is really exciting for me. I've never had a butt in my life. It gives me more time to build muscle in areas that I needed to. So essentially I'm on like a mini bulk without calling it a mini bulk, because it's kind of a scary thing to think about, but I'm definitely right now in the building phase. So that way when I do prep, we'll lean out and I'll still look full. Okay, this question is so commonly asked. I mean, every time I ask for a question, this question is asked, and it is, what does Wyatt think about this? He is the most supportive husband on planet Earth. I practice posing in front of him. I talk to him about it all the time. He is so supportive. He's cooked my bison, my ground turkey. He's cooked stuff for me. He wants to see me succeed and wants me to be happy, and he is so incredibly supportive. He helps me so much. Okay, another frequently asked question is, what's your workout split? So right now I train 7 days a week. I do 3 leg days. Typically it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday I do legs, and then Tuesday, Thursday I'll do shoulders and arms. And then the weekend is usually like a hit workout and like a back workout or something. That's typically how it goes. He does add things into the app that I use through him. So he'll add, you know, 30 minutes of walking here and like, you know, that kind of thing. And when I train legs, I eat more carbs than when I don't train legs. So that's been a new addition to the meal plan updates. This will be the 2nd week of that. What is your favorite thing to train? I love this question. So it's actually changed a lot. I used to despise leg days, like would dread going to do leg days. I hate squats. I hate just leg days in general. I now think I might like leg days more than arms, believe it or not. I used to love training shoulders. I'd say legs now, I can't believe I'm saying that, but only because I know that I need to push myself super hard because that's the area that I need to work the hardest at. So I enjoy like feeling pumped up going in and wanting to hit legs and to leave with a pump. Like that is such a good feeling to have. What pre-workout do you take? I actually just started taking pre-workout. I wasn't taking it before, but I found one that really works for me. It's the Alani one. It's the rainbow candy flavor, I believe. I'll have it linked down below. All my supplements are always linked down below if you guys were wondering. And if you want anything else linked, just let me know and I will definitely start linking them in the descriptions there. But the majority of things that I mention in my videos or my common supplements that I take every single day will always be in the description of this series. Do you see yourself doing more than one show? So yes, the goal is this show qualifies for nationals if you place. So I definitely, if I make it to nationals, I'm gonna wanna compete in a national show, which is really, really nerve-wracking but exciting. So we'll see if it goes that far. If not, I'm not putting any pressure on myself. I'm just gonna kinda enjoy it. But I would definitely like to do more than one show, especially if I'm buying a bikini. I mean, those things are not cheap. I'd like to do more than one show to make that worth it, but also I'm really loving this process so far. We'll see after prep if I think it's worth it, but you know, we'll see what happens. Have you had any injuries since training differently? I have had, I wouldn't call it an injury, but I had tweaked my knee just a little bit and the tendonitis in it was so painful. I wore like a little compression on my knee and iced it and put Bengay on it and ended up being fine. But it always stinks when you've injured something in a way because you don't want to push it, because you don't want to, you know, hurt it more, pull it more. I think it's smart. And if you're struggling with an injury, please focus on healing before getting back into the gym, because you don't want to hurt anything else or compensate, hurt the other leg, you know, that whole thing. So I definitely took the time to lay off of it a little bit and let it heal, but it's totally fine now. What are the protein sources that you eat? This is a great question. And I've done a what I eat in a day on this series as well. I'm sure you can find it just in the playlist. Now I eat whole eggs, almond butter, ground turkey, 93.7 ground turkey, ground bison, and grilled chicken. That's gonna be it for today's video. I know it's a little bit shorter and I know it's probably a little bit redundant for those of you who have been following along this journey, but I just feel like I needed to come through and update y'all a little bit because things have changed quite a bit since the beginning, since the very first video, and I just kind of wanted to run through that again, give you guys updates on my meal plan and where I'm at mentally with this process. I'm absolutely loving it thus far and I really appreciate y'all's support. My channel has grown just a little bit and I am really excited to see the progress and the analytics behind that. So please, if you're not subscribed, please subscribe. It'd mean the world to me. And I have just been loving this phase of life and loving the sport so much. Stay tuned for videos. I post every Friday at 9 a.m. So I will see you guys in my video next week. Bye.